Alright, I get the Prestige basically ready to fly. Got the motor in, spinner prop, speed controls right here. I got a cam altitude unit, and then I've routed the wires from the speed control and cam out the back here with an extension. I needed some more length on the cam, so I just cut and soldered on longer wire. I have, it's hard to see, but I have some actual battery stops that I 3D printed. There's one here and one back here. Hard to see, but anyway, just little blocks to stop the battery from moving around. And one thing to mention is the canopy is really narrow, so you can't really use a fat battery or a wide battery. These Hyperion 900s fit pretty good. They go in like this, and then once they're in, you can sort of spin them around if you need to. Lay them down. But anyway, that's the battery. So I got a Mega 1674 CE motor in here with a 3-to-1 gearbox. It's a I think it's a Red Fox gearbox. Using that because I just had it lying around in my drawer of bits, so never really used it, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Got a Vita 11x6 prop. This is a Ryzenauer 32mm spinner. Again, the Prestige has a built-in firewall that's 32mm. Yeah, I got rubber band. I'll probably put an O-ring on that later because it'll look nicer, but I'm out of O-ring, so I just use a rubber band. And that keeps the prop folded. So, I've actually done all the programming. So we're basically ready to fly. What I'm going to do is just set this up on the CG machine, and I'll show you the weight and the CG. And I'm going to go through some of my setup and show you guys what I programmed into the model. Okay, so here's my all-up weight, just about 1,200 grams, which is like 42 ounces, I think. And the CG's at 109 with, that's just with everything installed, no adjustments or anything. I did talk to Samba, and they recommended starting at 112. So I'm a little bit ahead of that, but hey, that's going to be okay for a maiden flight. And they said that guys are actually flying these all the way back to 125, but you know, I've really been flying a more forward CG with my super light F5J models. So I'm just going to start with this. If I wanted to move the CG further or rearward, I could either cut the nose down a little shorter, or possibly put a lighter battery in, or a lighter motor in the airplane, because my motor's 90 grams. I could go to like an 80-gram motor and maybe clean up some of the wiring, and I think I'd be able to move that CG back a couple of millimeters. But anyway, this is it for right now, and then let me get the radio on and show you some of my travels and programming. Okay, first thing I'll go over is just some of my camber settings. So this is in section. And then I have thermal 1, which is about 3 millimeters of camber, and thermal 2, which is 5 millimeters of camber. And then I have a reflex setting, which is about 2 millimeters of reflex. So we'll go over it again. Reflex.
Thermal 1. Thermal 2.
Okay, so aileron throw. I have about 17 millimeters, both up and down, so equal, no differential. And then I have the flaps mixed in about 40%. And then here's my landing flaps.
Landing.
We're getting about maybe 75 degrees of landing flaps, which I think is going to be plenty.
Cruise.
show you that again right here.
Landing. Cruise. Landing. Cruise.
Okay. Then if we go to the tail, I have about 15 millimeters of up elevator and maybe a little bit more of down elevator. Rudder's probably somewhere around 25 to 30 millimeters of travel both directions. And then I do have 30% rudder mix in most of my flight modes with the ailerons. And we're going to tune all this stuff up, as we go. Again, this is just a base setting, sort of, how I think it should be. But, yeah, we're definitely going to need to do a lot of tuning. And obviously I have some down elevator with my landing flaps. So that's all good. So yep, we are ready to fly. So I'm going to go out tomorrow morning and put a maiden flight on this baby. And it might be the maiden flight. It might be the maiden crash. We don't know. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And I will report back to you guys.